There's a saying that when one door closes, another door opens. It could be legal or illegal. That's what's happening concerning groundnut exports to Indonesia currently. Namaste. In this first episode of our third season, we will discuss how Indonesia has tightened its norms for the import of Indian groundnut and, of course, the fallout. In September 2025, Indonesia suspended imports of Indian groundnut for high aflatoxin levels. What's aflatoxin? It's a toxic mold growth seen in plants. It could lead to health problems, even potential liver problems. Indian exporters dispute the suspension, saying Indonesian move came 3 months after the consignments landed in Jakarta. Nevertheless, the curbs continued until a team from Indonesia visited Indian exporters' facilities. Then, exports were permitted from November. However, the permission was given with some strict norms, including the maximum permissible level for aflatoxin. Indonesia has fixed a 15 parts per billion limit for aflatoxin in Indian peanuts. According to international traders who spoke to Business Line, even Indonesia does not have facilities to check this. On the other hand, this has forced Indian exporters to back out, saying it was too risky to do business with Indonesia. Another clause that exporters found troublesome was Indonesia saying it would suspend any trader if their consignments were found to have higher aflatoxin levels. Last week, an Indian exporter was suspended as the consignments were found to have higher aflatoxin levels. In addition, Indonesia has pruned its list of permitted exporters to 75. All these resulted in hardly 800 tons of groundnuts being exported to Indonesia in December. But the trade has begun to adopt another route to beat this Indonesian curve. That's to get the groundnuts into Indonesia illegally. Trade sources say that what happens is that shipments meant for Indonesia are sent to Port Klang in Malaysia. From there, barge and small boat operators take the goods in shipments of 20 containers to Dumai port, which is a major smuggling port of Indonesia. From Dumai, the consignments are taken to places such as Jakarta or Surabaya by road. The deal is done through cash at Dumai. In November, over 825 containers, a huge volume, moved via Dumai illegally, and only 8 containers moved via the official port. In December, groundnut exports to Indonesia were 20 full containers officially, whereas illegal shipments were 225 full containers. Data accessed by Business Line showed that groundnut exports, which had never been above 6,500 tons a month until September 2025, began rising from October. Imports to Malaysia surged in October to 8,300 tons against 6,533 tons in October 2024, 15,800 tons in November and 15,000 tons in December. That's an indication of what's going on. In related developments, Thailand has banned groundnut imports from India since June 2025. Trade sources attribute the groundnut issue to China. Beijing issued a mandate in 2025 to fellow Association of Southeast Asian Nations members to tighten groundnut quality. It also told them to buy more of its produce. Indonesia imports about 30% of India's groundnut exports. In 2024-25, it imported 2.77 lakh tons of groundnuts valued at $280 million. This was out of the 7.46 lakh tons valued at $795 million shipped out from India. All these have resulted in 1. Big consumers like candy makers in Indonesia facing a supply shortage. 2. Indian exporters are facing a tough time. Let's hope for good times to emerge. Be happy and keep smiling. Until we meet in the next episode, this is Subramani Mankombu signing off. Good luck.